going on, YouTube world and Pamper gang members? This is boy with the Pampers and the Toys, out recording from paradise. Please all make sure you like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, the boy with the Pampers and the Toys. Please all make sure you like, share, subscribe to your family, your friends, and your enemies. Also check out my Instagram and my Twitter accounts, the boy with the Pampers and the Toys. Twitter, I definitely upload the videos a lot from YouTube on there, as well as different things as well too, different figures, different toys, etc. And Instagram, the same thing. And also hit the notification bell. Come on, when my videos upload, check me out. Surprise me. No, I'm just playing. So today we're gonna have a Marvel Legends day. Well, I'm not gonna say, yeah, it is Marvel Legends because it is advertised as Marvel Legends. So today we're gonna be talking about Marvel Studios X-Men 97 two figures, and these two guys are like my favorite. They like my favorite character. One of my top, I'm gonna say my top 10 favorite characters out of all the Marvel universe. And we're gonna be talking about the one and only Bishop. And looking at this figure, he definitely looks different from this Bishop figure that I got, and I'm going to compare and contrast. I was a little disappointed with one thing in this figure, and we'll get to that. And as you know, Bishop, he's a time traveler. I think he's like, oh my gosh, is he I know he has some type of telekinesis powers, and that gun that he has gives him powers, and he's good with hand-to-hand combat. I think if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to get my memory, he got pyrokinesis or something like that, or telekinesis. I said pyrokinesis, I don't know if it's a word. But telekinesis, where I think he can lift stuff and throw it. I'm shocked that he's not a Omega level mutant, which is shocking, but hey, the creators, they have their picks and chooses. And so on the back of here, you see they got all the figures, which I have all of them. I already talked about Wolverine. And, so we're going to get into some things. And then next, my boy, Gambit. What is Gambit's? I'm going to think of his name. It'll come to my mind. Remy. It's old Remy for you. And, I'm loving this figure. I have the retro figure of Gambit, and it took a long time to find this retro figure of the Uncanny X-Men Marvel Legends. This was a Target exclusive right here, as you can see. And, well, we're going to do some compare and contrast. So let's get down to it. Okay, so in front of me, we have the new X-Men 97 Bishop figure. I almost called him Cable, because I don't know why, back in the early 90s, I used to get him and Cable mixed up, because I kind of thought they had like the same powers, because they were both time travelers into the future and the past. So the story with Bishop, I know Bishop was sent, I think, to the future to eliminate the daughter of, I can't think of the daughter's names, when Jean Grey and Cyclops had a daughter, and she's like the most powerful mutant that I know of, somewhat. So let me get to the figure. So with this figure right here, when I looked at him, I was like, okay, I like him, but there was one problem. I'm used to Bishop having long hair, and I get, I gotta look at life as things change, times do change, characters change as well too, and maybe sometimes the sexes of characters change. The character in the past might have been male, and now they want to make an offspring female, something to that degree. So I try to move and groove with the times a little bit. But with this figure, I was pretty much disappointed with them not letting him have long hair. And it's a good looking figure. Okay, he's got double jointed, pinless elbows. Nice little, arm cut right there. You can't beat that. And then, he does move. Well, hold on. Don't want to mess that up. So you got to be careful with that. That's a piece of the fabric that goes with his costume. As you can see, they got the famous bandana. I guess it's a bandana around his neck. And, you can't have a Bishop without that. His head does move. doesn't go up and down like it goes down, but he doesn't look up. Which that was a little disappointing too. Maybe it's because of this neck piece right here that he can't look up. I don't know. But it's not even touching the neck piece. So then, you know, he came with I'll get to that in a minute. Another thing that I was disappointed with. As you can see, he's got this for his gun and looks pretty small. And we know that Cable always had a big gun and a big, like, what you call a holder for his gun. So that was very disappointing as well, too. He did come with 2 trigger fingers, and I'm going to switch them out. I'll show you in a minute, but okay. So the chest area is pretty decent, you know, rib cage and the, you know, he can bend up, you know, you can actually pose him a little bit. Then next, he has this, he has pinless knees and everything, so I'm really big when it comes to the pins. I hate pins on action figures. I guess, you know, like I said 1,000 times in other videos, they come out when they want to come out. So let's see. He can do the splits almost. So that means with the character, if your action figure can do the splits almost, that means you can kind of pose them the way you want to pose them. So as you can see, his feet are articulated to the full potential. Not his toes. His toes are not. Actually, as you can see, you can't tip his toes like certain action figures of certain other kind of, you know, companies. I'm not gonna mention them in this video, but y'all can, Mattel and all of that. So next, let's see. They have his belt around him, and they try to blend it in with the stripes of his costume, which is it's pretty cool. And he got a nice little thigh boot cut right here, as you can see. So if you wanted to pose him a certain way, I do have like stands that he can stand on. I'm getting used to using these stands because I really hate the stands. That's probably why my action figures look the way they look on a shelf, but I'm getting that together slowly for surely. Okay, so okay, there's a good pose right there if you want him to pose for a picture or anything. You know, you gotta make sure you have them. These are the DC Comics. Look at him, he fell. The DC Comics stands. I got a lot of these too, and a lot of the Mattel stands as well too. Okay, so face wise, it looks like Bishop. They never said what Bishop's. Well, they probably did, and I overlooked it. But I don't know what his nationality is. I've always figured that he was African American. So that's what I've always figured he was. Or then again, I don't know. That's something I gotta look up. So okay, with the hands right here, he got a fist right here, so you know he can pack a punch. I know him and Gambit, and that's why I wanted to do a video with him and Gambit, because him and Gambit were kind of arch nemesis. I think Gambit stopped him from destroying somebody. I don't know, or you know, he came to the future, the past, or whatever to stop somebody. I don't know. Okay, so let me go ahead and use his trigger hands real quick. Switch ass hands. He got a nice little trigger hand as well, or somewhat hand for this gun right here, but I'm about to switch them all out. This gun is too small. I'm used to Bishop having a bigger gun than this, so I don't know what Hasbro was thinking. I don't know if they came into, like, oh, let's make them a smaller, you know, gun for the cartoon. The cartoon, X-Men cartoon is my childhood. I would never, it's a part of my childhood. I would never take anything from the comic books. I'll take anything from the cartoon. The cartoon, that was the legacy, from 94 to 98, I think the cartoon lasted about 4 years. I'm gonna say 3 to 4 years, something like that, to that degree, or maybe 5. Okay, so I think it's guns way too cheesy, and they did a quick money thing grab of like, okay, well, we're not gonna make him have a bigger gun this time in the cartoon, which is a pain. So let's go ahead and switch this fist out. His wrist things came out, if you can see. Alright, put them back on, because he would not be Bishop without it. Okay, so I'm going to try the gun in this hand right here. The gun is pretty, like, clunky. I'm gonna let y'all see it up close and personal. It's not really all that great of a gun. Oh, but it is what it is. Alright. So you're gonna smash the gun up real quick. Okay. So there's a nice little trigger hand right here. And I'd rather for him to keep the punch, the fisted punch on that hand, because I wish they had another punch fist. I would have made his left hand be the punch or whatever, but it's not. And as you can see on the face scope as well too, they got that famous iconic tattoo, or I think it's a scar around his eye. That's what kind of separated him from the others in the X-Men cartoon and comic books back in the day. Just that scar alone. So I'm gonna go ahead and put his fist back on. Gotta be careful with that. Alright, so I want another trigger hand on him, because this one's kind of like all over the place. So there's the other trigger hand for the right hand. It ain't this one that was kind of gripped out all the way. Who's to say Bishop he didn't have a, oh man. It's like a pain getting this gun in his hand. I'm sorry for not having him on camera put it in, but it's like a struggle. Okay, well, I got in there far enough. So that's what he looks like with the trigger hand. And the gun fits on the back of this little holster, whatever it is, because it's so small. Now, let's do some compare and contrast. I only have one Bishop figure. Now, I had some, I think Toy Biz or somebody made the figures back in the 90s. I had a couple Bishop figures back in the early 90s, which, you know, nobody cared about that. So this is the Bishop that I remember with the long hair. That's what I remember. This is early 2000, I think Toy Wiz made this or whatever. It came out in 2006. And I haven't had this figure that long. I'm lying if I say I had this figure a long time. I bought it at a yard sale or flea market. I can't remember. I said it in another video before, so I don't want to lie to, you know, any viewers out here, any friends. Okay, so Bishop got the long hair. I think this figure looks better, but I think that this figure, I like him better because he got longer hair. But I thought the Toy Wiz made kind of some, it comes with the times. They made some crucial looking figures. So I want to do something different real quick. Let's take off this head right here. Just, you know, for general purposes. I don't know if his head can come off this. Nope, it can't come off. So, man, get your head together. Okay, but as you can see, this Bishop right here had a true gun right here. This is what the gun actually, let me kind of set him up a little bit. Okay, so this is what, man, if I can't get this in here. I'm trying, everybody. It's like, this figure's pretty old. Maybe, okay. I see what I need to do. I need to put this gun. He probably, with this figure right here, he's missing a gun. I bought him loosely, so I wouldn't know what gun's supposed to go down there. So, this is what the real big Mama Jamma supposed to look like. The big Papa Smoke gun. I gave it the gun 2 sexes. So, I give this figure, the Bishop figure, I give him a 9.3 out of a 10. The only reason I took off points because they could have kept his long hair, and then the gun needed to be a whole lot bigger. The figure was perfect because it paid homage to the cartoon. Honestly, I didn't like this figure as well either. I thought he looked like a monster. And I forgot that Bishop's eyes could change colors in the cartoons because he had telekinesis or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to jog my memory a little bit when it comes to the X-Men series and comic books. I'm getting old. So, alrighty. So, there you have it, everybody. Bishop. And I did get him at Walmart for $24.99. I seen when they first came out, they were sold out everywhere, but now you can get them anywhere you want to, for real, just about. So there you have it, everybody. The man Bishop. He's the man. He's the man. He's the man. All right. And I don't think this Bishop wants to stand up too much right here. But oh well. So next we got Mr. Remy LeBeau right here, aka Gambit, aka Remy LeBeau. And Gambit, from my understanding, I found out some new knowledge about Gambit. He actually was supposed to be an Omega level mutant, but something happened to where I don't know who he went to. He has something going on in his mind. I don't know if it was Mr. Sinister that went in his mind and changed a lot, so he didn't become his full potential Omega level mutant. But you know, Gambit had them cards and he could heat up objects and throw at you. I don't know, Gambit just was one of them guys who all the guys my age back in that time looked up to. He had a swag, he had this, he had that. He was just cool. He was a cool dude. Okay, so with this figure, and you know, he's a love interest of the lovely Rogue. So, with this figure right here, I do like it, but there is a couple dislikes I don't like about it. Okay, so let's see. He's got pinless, double jointed elbows. The jacket that's what makes Gambit too. So they pay homage to the cartoon, X-Men 97 animated series. They kind of copied off the cartoon a little bit, but it has its own cartoon identity about it. All these X-Men 97 figures do look cartoonish because it's based off a cartoon. Some people be like, well, I don't know why that this character looks too cartoonish. Well, it's based on X-Men 97 cartoon. Get it? I ain't throwing shots at other people or nothing like that. I'm just saying for myself because I had to understand it on my own. So, let's see. The head does go up and down, which is a plus, and I don't get it because Bishop's head don't look up, but Gambit's head look up. The hair is pretty big, big and flowing. Let's see. What does Mr. Remy LeBeau? He did come with a couple things. Hold on, real quick. So let's see. Now his action figure can almost do the splits as well too. So when you think about it. Now he has pinned double jointed knees, but I know you gotta do what you gotta do. I guess because he's skinnier than Bishop, because Bishop had pinless double knees. I think a lot of the figures that have skinnier frames, skinnier bodies, legs, and arms, sometimes they do get pins and everything, but it is what it is. So as you can see, the jacket is nicely placed on there, sculpted. I don't think there was a time on X-Men cartoon or the comic books I've ever seen Gambit without his attire, honestly. So what I mean by that, okay, never took off his jacket. You only seen this costume right here that he had on. But I saw Gambit on the cartoon with different type of clothes and stuff when he's out and about. Cool. So the head does move up and move around, left, right. And Gambit, if I'm not mistaken, he always had these red eyes about him. So I've never even known for Gambit to have regular human looking form eyes. Okay, so as you can see, Gambit does come with some accessories as well too. Oh, in the chest area, I didn't go through that either. As you can see, if you want to pose him, hey, he can duck and dodge a bullet or something like that. Cool beans for me. Fully articulation is the best possible. As you can see, the feet are the feet don't move like forwards. You got to be careful. You could break it. So maybe I got to put some heat on that or something like that for that foot to move the way it should move. But I'm not really pressed about it or worried about it. So let's talk about his accessories, and let me add a little heat to that. Okay. Now, this is what I would have loved for the figure, to actually have like a different arm. So if you want to take off his jacket he can just wear this costume. But unfortunately, we don't have that. And I'm for sure a lot of custom people who create customs going to eat this up alive. I wish I could make customs, but I don't know how to make them. So, okay, he does come with this card right here with some powers, which I thought was a plus. Either you can put the card, I guess, in this hand right here, or maybe you can put it right here. That is cool. Very cool. I'm gonna let y'all see it up close and personal. Hope my lightning is not really messing it up. So next, Gambit always had this staff, this metal pole. The one I had from the retro figure kept coming loose in his arms, not in his arms, but through his fist, which wasn't fair. This one is on the same level. Now I didn't lose the pole like officially on the retro figure, but it's somewhere over here on a shelf somewhere. It fell. Maybe it's in a bag somewhere with the weapons, because I got a whole bunch of stuff with weapons and things in it. So, I would have loved for this pole to be a little thicker, so it would have slid right through his hands, grippingly wise, better. But unfortunately, they made that same mistake again, Hasbro. So I'm a little disappointed in that. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to do like I did with the other retro figure. And I just want that man to have his powers in his hand. This is the same thing they did with the retro figure. So, I don't mind this figure having that either. But I want them to separate all of that for real. But I guess, you know, with Gambit, there's really no separation at all. So, as you can see, there's the powers, his cards. Gambit tear the club up with them cards for real. You know, Gambit was a thief, actually. He was with Mr. Sinister, so he was kind of on the evil side before he joined the X-Men, to my knowledge. So, as you can see, I think that's super dope. What they could have done different about this figure, because I'm going to compare and contrast him and a retro figure. Between both of these figures, which one do I like better? It's hard to say because they do look different. You can tell them from apart. As you can see, side by side, you know who's who. Well, I like this figure better because I just felt like the hair was a little bit too dramatic. It was too dramatic, and I get it that in the X-Men 97 cartoon's a new cartoon. It can't be just like the early 90s cartoon. I totally get it. But me coming from that era, this is who I remember. Mr. Remy LeBeau right here. You know, this right here is for the new babies to learn about my childhood. So, I like this figure a lot better. You know, this looks more of his steed of the comic book and all of that. So I really, there was another thing. I thought they could have did different with the cards for the hands. They could have like, maybe, okay, traditionally, I get it. But they could have put the other hand with some cards on it too as well too. And made the grip better for him to hold the pole. But they choose not to do that. They just want to, you know, no offense for Hasbro. I do love y'all and everything. But some of y'all stuff be kind of jacked up a little bit. So I give, and then he wasn't really his feet. It's not, you know, like, before they put these figures in a package, they need to make sure they're heated up. And I get it, they go through boxes, go through different warehouses to get to us and everything so we can order it. But him being an older figure, these feet right here can move back and forth. So really, I'm going to give this figure a 9.2 out of 10. I took 8 points off because I don't like the hair. The hair. My accents make me say her. And I don't like the feet at all. And I thought they could have did a little better with the cards on the other hand. I made it have a bigger hand of cards flashing out. That would have been, I had a set of power hands, you know, hands with powers that had more cards added to it. That's what could have drew the people in a little bit more on, you know, being a big fan of the X-Men and Gambit. So So he gets a 9.2 out of 10, but you can pick him up at your local Walmart, and I think Target too, for $24.99. And I tell people all the time, get these figures while they out here. Get them while they out here, because you're going to be trying to find these figures years from now, and it's going to be like a lot of money online. So there you have it, everybody. My boy Gambit, and let me show him, like, you know, full body wise. There you go. So as you can see, everybody, we talking about today my boy Gambit and my boy Bishop. And I like both of these figures. You know, I know in life every figure can't be the greatest, it can't be the worst, it can't be like a Debbie Downer. I'll be like, I don't want to buy this figure because of this, about that. You know, just this is good to add to your collection. And I really think that Marvel Legends is actually kind of like upgrading itself a little bit when it comes to just trying different things when it comes to the figures and all of that. Disappointments happen with some things, but look at it as upgrading, expanding, and being, you know, just knowing you got something different, a different type of figure. You know, they might make a better figure down the road. You never know. All right, friends. Well, I'd like to thank all my friends for subscribing to my YouTube channel, Boy with the Pampers and the Toys. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Boy with the Pampers and the Toys. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe to your family, your friends, and all of your enemies. And also, please check out my Instagram and my Twitter accounts, Boy with the Pampers and the Toys. Videos uploaded on Twitter from YouTube that I do here, and reels and all of that, as well as different pictures of different figures and all of that. And also, there's one thing I didn't mention about Bishop, the holster, you know, putting the gun in here. And the gun, like I said, it's not going to change my opinion about the gun. It's way too small. But other than that, everyone have a great, fantastic day. Hey, Bishop, you know I got to stop you. And you know I got to hit you. Have a good day.